Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for Pisces. So, Pisces, as usual, I'm doing this reading with my own tarot deck, so the cards that you'll see are from this deck. So, Pisces, your message today has a lot to do with feelings and healing sensations, healing these feelings inside of you, inside of your heart, because it feels like you're being blocked to see something or to see in advance or to have some sort of preview of what's to come, because there is this comeback home that is here, because I feel like you haven't been feeling too connected or too comfortable or safe in your own heart. And this reading wants to focus in what was the splinter in your heart, because maybe emotionally you were a little bit too scattered. And there is like this very simple but very truthful and meaningful healing that wants to happen in this heart space. So we're beginning with the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords was coming through with this very heartfelt message of saying to you, Pisces, it's okay not to see anything in front of you. It's okay to just close your eyes, because if you insist on trying to see something, it's almost like you're going to push too hard on yourself. You are going to be too hard on yourself. And that's not necessary, right? It's like it's okay for you not to see at this moment in time. And that's because the focus is your heart. The Five of Cups here is talking about dropping into the heart space. Sometimes this card comes with this message, and here for you, it is that. It's almost like an alternative to not being able to see. So if your vision is not clear, if you feel like your intuitive senses are not as sharp as usual, it's like just drop into your heart space, because there's something that needs mending, needs it's like just pay attention to the feelings rather than the visions, right? Or the intuitions. And it's almost like if you drop into your heart, you're going to prioritize your feelings instead of what you're able to see. So it's almost like you can maybe you can feel like you were left with no clear sight, with no clear vision, right? But if you drop into your heart, it's almost like this guidance to emphasize the fact that feeling is the priority at the moment. And maybe you're wondering, but what if dropping into the heart space can also feel terrifying, can also feel scary and hurtful? The Eight of Swords is just talking about like neither one of these two options are feeling comfortable at the moment, right? And it's almost like if you were to base your decisions on a clear vision and you don't have that, it's like you feel a little bit out of sorts or unable to make decisions, right? Unable to take clear steps forward. And then when the guidance comes through with this message of dropping into the heart space, but dealing with your feelings is also very overwhelming, right? And very scary and mind-boggling, because it's almost like here there are only two swords, right? So it's almost like, yes, you cannot see ahead of you, or you don't have this clear vision of the future, but it's okay. You can deal with that. When you go to your heart space, it's like it feels like there are multiple scattered pieces that are fragments of a heart. So it's almost like you don't it's almost like you don't understand, or you don't it's like, you know, the five, to me, they talk about the location. It's almost like you cannot pinpoint where dropping into the heart feels good, or at least feels comfortable, right? So it's almost like you don't know. You feel like you cannot drop into your heart, right? It's like the alternative is not a possibility. It's not viable. It's not something that you can go to, because it feels like you don't really know where to go, right? It's like it's overwhelming to go there, right? It's like, so maybe you are feeling like left with no clues, with no direction, with no guidance, because if you cannot see anything in front of you and you cannot find your heart space to just feel this warmth of your heart, because it feels very scattered, like it's almost like this emotional bag of confusion, right? Or, you know, very heavy, very dense emotions, or sharp memories, right? Sharp feelings. It's almost like you are in a very uncomfortable position, Pisces. I can relate to that. And it's almost like if the guidance here is to drop into your heart, there is a reason for that. Even though it might be uncomfortable, it might not look like the best alternative, there is this light at the end of the tunnel, in a sense, that wants to join the pieces. Because the Ace of Swords coming after, every single piece of this heart that, you know, could be broken, could be scattered, could be overwhelmed, could be scared or lost, or, you know, with no direction forward. It's like, here comes the direction, but you need to feel into each single piece to just have this notion, have this sensation of which one of these pieces are like the most discomfortable one. It's like the most uncomfortable one, right? The most the sharpest edge that is going to provide you this itch, or this the source of discomfort, right? It's like, which one is the biggest issue, which is the hardest feeling, right? This is what this truth wants to be clear, right? It's like, you need to be clear of what is the one that is the feeling that is creating this most uncomfortable, edgy, very it's almost like it's even unbearable to speak of, because it's like you don't know, right? It's almost like you cannot locate it, right? You cannot locate inside your heart. But there is this guidance here. It's like, even if you cannot pinpoint which one is the hardest one, because every single feeling that you are just dropping into right now feels uncomfortable, it's like if you join them all, it's almost like you have to do, like, it's like joining pieces of clay that were scattered, and then it's like you're going to have to sense that. It's a very tactile type of sensation, right? It's like you need to join that with your hands, and then bring your hands to your heart, right? Not necessarily bring the piece of clay, but it's almost like you're molding your heart back together, right? Piecing the pieces together, bringing the pieces together. So this is what is going to give you the clear direction, because even though it can be completely uncomfortable, it's almost like it's like you're joining this puzzle, right? The puzzle is your heart, but if they are all scattered, the pieces, they don't make sense separated. It's like they can only give you a direction forward, can give you this clarity if they're all together. So it's almost like bring all of these uncomfortable feelings together to one central point, right? It's like, just bring your hands to your heart, and then it's like you are going to concentrate. It's like it's like, here you're feeling fragmented. Here it can be like this itchy feeling of discomfort, right? It's not comfortable at all. It is a direction, even though it's a sharp one. It's not like this very easy and tranquil direction forward. It's almost like clarity of that which is creating the fragmentation, that which is creating the overwhelming feeling, right? So it's like accepting that. And it's now reminding me of the Aquarius reading that was talking about accepting disruption. Here it's like accepting the truth of these uncomfortable feelings, right? And because the direction forward is going to lead to the star. So this is where the healing comes to the reading, right? To the message. To be honest, Pisces, this star feels a little bit like far away, right? A little bit removed. It's not that close. It doesn't feel like, because it's like you cannot see. It's like a very dimmed star, right? It's like the bright star. It's like it's not as bright as it could be because it hasn't come close enough. But that's because I feel like where you are right now, it's like you're still joining the pieces. You're still bringing these pieces of your heart that have been scattered to one place, right? And yes, that feels like this not hard work, but it's intense, right? Because it's like, if every single piece was, hurtful on its own, now that they're all together, it's like this ouch, right, in the heart. It's like this, it's intense, right? It's almost like you wish you didn't have to deal with this, but here it's almost like the more intense it gets, it's almost like this arrow is going to call this star, right? Because I'm seeing, it's almost like this this arrow being shot to the star, right? It's like this shooting star, but you're the one that has control over the shooting star, because the shooting star is actually coming to you, but you have to be the one who sends the signal, right? The signal for this shooting star to come towards you is like this arrow, right? It's like, but the Ace of Swords is like the combination of all of these mini hurts, these mini pains, mini, like these small, very uncomfortable feelings, right? So when you do so, it's like there is this it's like there is this clear notion of what is hurting the most, right? And then that helps to locate, in a sense, the heart, because after the star comes the King of Cups. So this is the restoration of your heart. It feels like in order for you to feel better afterwards, it's like you have to accept that perhaps your heart has been broken, your heart is scattered, you cannot really it's not trust in your heart, but like pinpoint where it is, like where is the source of comfort that should be the place of, a healthy heart. So accepting all of that is actually going to, it's like initiate the healing, right? Begin the healing, because it's going to bring this star closer to you. And the moment that it gets closer to you, it's like you're going to feel better and better and better by the day, because it's also going to give you this notion that you're coming back home. So the Tower, ending this part of the reading, the Tower to me talks about home, right? A safe place where inside these walls, it's like, that you're safe, that you are protected. And traditionally, I know that the Tower talks about, a structure that is, just ending, is coming to a ruin, because it's no longer active, it's no longer reliable, it's no longer trustworthy. But it feels like you haven't been there. That's the thing, because the sensation that I'm having, it's like, because you couldn't see, you couldn't feel, you couldn't locate your heart space, right? It's like you felt a little bit lost, a little bit adrift. But now it's like the shooting star is pointing the way back home. And home here, because these two cards are kind of one and the same, but it's like this one is emphasizing the protection, this one is emphasizing the restoration of the heart. But these two want to just build this picture of coming back home to your heart. So this is the direction forward, although first you need to, it's like, in order to have this direction, it's like the direction forward is made of tiny pieces of uncomfortable feelings. So once you put all of that together, it's like this initiates, it's like the signal for the star, so that the star can like take you back home, right? It's like the star, the direction is coming from these two cards, but in different levels, because this one is you with this discomfort, right? This massive discomfort. The star is like this dim light that is way out there, and it's getting closer and closer and closer the more uncomfortable you feel, right? It's like the more uncomfortable you feel, maybe it's like maybe more powerful this is, right? The healing is more powerful, because it's like the cure, the healing happens like when we really, really know where the source of pain is. And this is what I feel like you're going through, right? So afterwards, it's like once the star is close enough, that's when you know that you can see this heart space. It's like that's when you know that you can locate your heart again, because it's like you know the entryway, right? It's like the entryway to your heart space. It's like the door to your home, right? It's now open. It feels like this restored home, right? For some reason, it's like you're coming back home. But again, it doesn't need to be a physical home, right? It's like home to your heart. It wants to emphasize that. So Pisces, I am going to pull more cards for you, as well as the astrological runes in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, I'll be very happy to see you. I truly hope that this was comforting. I know that there is a lot of discomfort here, but there is this light at the end of the tunnel, right? So if you want to know more of where this is going to go, maybe what happens inside of the tower, we'll see. Yeah, if you want to join me in the extended, I'll be very, very happy to see you there. You can find the link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.